episode, lucky number 7.
Have you had this fucking Liquid Death Sweet Reaper, the sweet tea one?
I've had maybe like 2 or 3 liquid deaths, period, and they've all been just water.
Yeah, see, I didn't like them before.
Not that I don't like liquid death. It's just, it's never been one of those things of like, I'm going to grab a liquid death. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's always been that niche thing I never cared to go for.
Yeah, see, I was the same way, but man, I got these the other day and I've been fucking loving them just cause it's really good. It tastes really like tea. Like, I don't know. It just tastes like fucking real tea. So I started drinking them. Hell, I've already gone through so many of these goddamn things. It's ridiculous.
Well, don't throw up this episode. So.
Oh, fucking, I'll try. I didn't have any coffee today, so I shouldn't. I should be good.
Yeah. Now we don't fucking know what tea will do at this point. So.
Yeah, I know. Who knows? Well, so the truck's fixed, huh?
We are back. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. No, I'm okay. It's fat. I'm back. I got it. I'm out 5 Gs, but I got it back. So this has been a roller fucking coaster of a goddamn experience. Okay. So
I'd rather be out 5 Gs than be out fucking 20 Gs. You know what I mean?
It was 11 quoted without the extended warranty covering the half of it, you know. But I started having issues with it. It was like giving weird fucking shifts, you know. It would go into high rev, shift late, not shift, like you get stuck in gears or what and all that shit, right? So obviously something's fucking wrong. So I take it to the shop that I go to, have them diagnose it, trying to figure out what's going on with it. They're like, well, we're getting these readings on our scanner and whatnot, but, and I didn't know this at the time, there's currently an open recall for the transmission, but like an internal thing for the transmission, and my extended warranty isn't going to cover anything until I get the recall done first. Cause for all we know, the recall is the one that's causing the issue. So I'm like, fuck me. I got to go to the damn dealership. But I go to these guys all the time. They're real cool. And I'm at work when they call me. So they went ahead and just took the truck to the dealership for me because it was right down the street. I didn't have to go do it myself. Dealership calls me, but issue is not that they can or can't do the work. The issue is their particular transmission mechanics are 2 months behind on their work. So they can't even look at my truck just to diagnose anything for 2 months on the low end. Yeah, that means it could take longer than 2 months to just even look at my goddamn truck. So I was like, okay, so can you give me like a loaner or something like that? Because, just like you and your people who have real jobs to support your families in the real world, I too have what's called a real job to support my family in the real world. You know, like what am I supposed to do for upwards of 2, 3, whoever fucking knows how many months here, right? And they're like, no, we don't have any loaners. I'm just like, okay, what the fuck here? Like, insurance isn't going to cover a rental car for this because I'm not doing an insurance claim. Like, so only reason why I'm semi getting through this is because my wife thankfully works from home. So I'm taking her Jeep at the time. But again, it still kind of makes it hard because if she needs to like run errands or do anything, like she's kind of screwed because then our daughter is at school, you know, at college and she drives. So, you know, we're still kind of having an issue here. But daughter's boyfriend, his dad, he's really cool. He's got an old Dodge that he lets us borrow. Now this is a really old Dodge, and he.
What do you mean old? Like how old?
Like his first truck old. It's got sentimental value. So.
Like
I did.
80s?
I couldn't. No, not that old. Like 90s. So. Like late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh fuck!
But
that's not old.
what I'm saying is like what I'm saying is it's been around the block a time or two or 10. Like, you know, it's got a lot of miles on it, and it's got a lot of love in the seats. You know what I mean?
Definitely got a broken dash, cracked as fuck dash.
100%. There's and like it's one of those vehicles where like, here, I have to show you how to properly turn it off so you don't kill the battery. You know what I mean? It's one of those types of things. And you have to make sure you turn the AC off, or otherwise all the way off, otherwise it'll kill the battery. Like, it's one of those types of situations. You have to do the correct turn of the knobs and the correct turn of the key to make sure that everything
Mhm.
goes right. So while I'm
So it's a
taking
badass shit box.
Destiny's Jeep to work, yeah. So I'm taking Destiny's Jeep to work every day. She has the truck here just in case she needs to go do something locally, because he said, like, he's like, it should make it to your work, but I probably wouldn't recommend you driving it to work every day. I was like, no worries. I'm gonna take her Jeep to work. It's just if she needs it for, you know, to run an errand or two, or go somewhere locally, or to an appointment, you know, in the area, then she'll have the truck. And, you know, he said, you know, I don't use it. I just have it for sentimental value. You guys use it as long as you need to. I was like, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. She used it a couple times, but the one time that she goes a little bit further than any other time, because she goes to Fort Worth for a dental appointment, I think it was, and it's not that far from my work, and it was close to the end of the day when I'm about to get off, and she is driving and it dies in an intersection.
Oh shit.
And I was like, fuck me. So I call, she's letting me know, and she's like blowing me up, but I'm in the middle of a fucking meeting. And I was like, and I you know, send her a voicemail, and I text her, like, hey, I'm in a meeting. I cannot pick up right now. You know, she's like, the truck broke down. I was like, fuck me. Like, so I was like, give me 10 minutes. I have to finish this meeting. Like it's like the one thing I had. The funny thing is that was the one thing that I had to do that day. And that was when everything happened. Like, that was literally the one thing I had to do that day. So, and after I wrapped that up, you know, told my boss, like, hey, I gotta go. Wife broke down. Luckily, a cop rolled by and helped her get it out of the intersection into a parking lot. And it was one of those situations where it's like, you know, you let it sit for a minute, alternate, charge it back up, and eventually start it back up. But we went ahead and let it sit on jumper cables and everything. And I was like, here, let me drive it. And so hopped in it, took off. I stayed off the freeway. We were staying on the feeder, and I get right up to about a red light, and it fucking died again. But it didn't just die. It started overheating and it started smoking.
Oh shit.
Like, motherfucker, dude. And I couldn't. And the thing is, though, is like, I was like 20 yards away from turning off of the feeder, and I was done. Could not get it started again because it was too hot and the battery was like done again. So I had to let it cool down. I had to turn it off and let it just kind of sit there for a second. I'm sitting on the feeder, and I have hazards on. She has her hazards on, and people still get behind us and don't pay attention. So I'm standing out there next to her, and I'm waving people around, and people are looking at me like, I wonder why this guy is standing on the side outside of his vehicle. I'm just going to sit here in my car and wait till he does something. Like, do you really think I would be standing outside next to my wife's Jeep and you think you're going to sit there in your vehicle with your blinker on, like everything's just going to move fine? Like, go the fuck around, you idiot. So eventually I was able to get the truck started in, and I called a tow truck, towed it to back to the boyfriend's house. His dad looks at it, and he was like, well, I mean, it worked just fine for me. I was like, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't want to fucking burn it up on you. You know what I mean? But he gets it all fixed up, right? And so keep driving the truck. And at this point, we're at about like week 4 of my truck being at a new dealership, because I picked it up and I took it to another dealership because I was like, I'm not waiting 2 months for you to just look at my goddamn truck. So I took it to another dealership. Unfortunately, I had to take it to Dallas. So I'm driving over an hour to this dealership in Dallas to drop it off because they were caught up on transmission work. Took them about 2 weeks to get in there, look at it and everything. Unfortunately, the recall was not the issue. So I was like, fuck, can't get Ford to pay
Never
for
is.
it. So, and they're like, all right, well, they're $11,000. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, is that with my extended warranty? They're like, oh, we haven't called them. I was just calling to let you know. I was like, well, don't call me before you know, dude. I don't want to know that number. I'm not paying that. Like, so
yeah, absolutely.
He calls the extended warranty, and they start working everything, right? First time I hear back. Now, the dealership, in all intents and purposes, has been just fine. Any issue I had was with the extended warranty. Guy I talked to at the dealership, he called me, I want to say probably about a week later, and was saying, hey, I just heard back from the extended warranty. Now I knew this was coming, but this was my first issue that I called the extended warranty, and I rose hell. Cause they said that, all right, we have the diagnosis report and everything from the dealership. We're going to send an inspector out to confirm the findings. Just totally expecting that, right? Yeah. Obviously, they want to be like, we want to make sure that the diagnosis is right. But this is what they did. We want the mechanics to tear down the fucking transmission and tear it apart so they can see the internal failure. And I have to pay for the entire labor out of pocket for the uninstall and tear down of that transmission, which was $3,000.
Shit.
That was going to be on my dime just to get it inspected. And this isn't mean it's even going to be approved at this point. And the fucking, rep calls and tells me this. I was like, okay, thank you for telling me. Don't do anything. I'll call you back. So I call the warranty company, talk to a guy that I talked to was very helpful. And I keep my cool until I don't need to anymore. I told him, I was like, hey, I'm told that you guys need to send an inspector out there to confirm the findings of the dealership. He's like, yes, sir. That's a pretty standard process. I was like, I have no issue with that. I was expecting that. That's not my issue with it. He's like, okay, sir. Well, what's the problem? I was like, well, my problem is this. And I laid it out. I was like, I don't see how you find that fair and equitable under your terms of agreement that I have to pay $3,000 out of my own money just to have your guy confirm the findings of what they have already said without all of that done based off of their scans and readings and everything like that. And this isn't even to a point where you've even approved it yet. I may have to be out $3,000 for something that you may not even be approved. Tell me how this is you taking care of your customers. Cause this seems a little bit like you're just trying to make me lose money. This isn't even money to you. This is money to the dealership. And this is why I don't understand this process. And so he starts, tippity typing away, and he's like, let me call my Ford expert. Puts me on hold and calls back, and he's like, okay, sir, we're actually going to do this, this, and this. And it was less than an hour of labor versus like 17 hours of labor they were asking for. I was like, tell me you haven't had this call 100 times before and knew exactly what to do, but yet is probably because they don't have people with, with the balls to call and stand up to them. Cause like,
Yeah.
no, you can go fuck yourself. Cause think
They were
about it.
just trying to make money.
Well, the thing is though, is this money doesn't go to them.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't make sense. Cause this would have gone to the dealership.
Fuck.
But see, this
know.
is one of those things where like, if the guy at the dealership would have been, I guess like a good soul to call me, then they would have just made a bunch of money. But he was like, but he was good enough to call me to kind of tell me like, hey, they're trying to rip you off. And again, it's not even them that's trying to rip me off. They're just not being good at their job. So got that cleared up. And then but then this is where it really pissed me off. They get all the information that they needed from that. And then my claim sat there for over a week with nothing. Whoever submitted my claim just like disappeared from the planet and did nothing. Requested quotes from vendors and all this stuff, but nothing. I called twice, and ironically, the same person that I called, cause when you call for updates, that doesn't mean you're always getting the person who submitted the claim. I actually ended up with the same person twice. The first time he was telling me, I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand why this isn't already done. It should already be done. I'm not the one that submitted it. So, but again, let me, route this up and let me see what I can do for you. But, this should not be taking this long. But hopefully we can get an answer for you soon. So, that was the first time. The second time I got that guy again, and he was like, and this was like, like 4 days later. He was like, I think I talked to you last time. I was like, I'm pretty sure you did. And he was like, and you still haven't heard anything? I was like, no, this is still sitting at the same spot that you left me at 4 days ago. He's like, okay, hang on. And he puts me on hold. He gets with the supervisor, and in real time, he was like, me and my supervisor just did a forced claim takeover. So he took it over so he can like make it happen. And then like next day, they had everything to the last step that just needed my approval, meaning, okay, hey, because per the contract, if they find a used or remanufactured part, they have the right to provide that versus paying for a brand new one, which obviously the dealership is going to go for a brand new one, and they don't take outside parts. So obviously I went for the brand new one, took the credit that the extended warranty was going to pay for the used one to apply it to the brand new one from the dealership. And then luckily they also had one in stock locally, so I didn't have to wait for one to get shipped from fucking Canada.
Oh yeah.
So
that
nice. Got installed, and I picked it up yesterday. But let me fucking tell you how that went.
Oh shit.
So I left to go pick that up. Oh my God, bro. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna fucking bring it up so we can all look at it together here. So I go and sign the paperwork, do the payment and all that shit, right? They go to pull my truck around. And once it's coming around the corner, I go from happiness to, you've got to be fucking kidding me, because I had to stop the fucker that was driving it, because this is what I see coming around the corner. Tell me, I'm not even going to point it out. Tell me if you see what's wrong.
Your track bar's hanging.
I had to stop that fucker from driving because I was like, and then I was like, hey, stop. And he was like, okay. And I waved at him. I was like, hey, come here. And he starts driving forward. I was like, fucking stop. Dude didn't speak English. So I go find my rep inside. I was like, hey, man, you need to come out here. He comes out. He's like, what's going on? I was like, look. And he was like, sir, do you want a loaner? I'll get you a loaner. I'm so sorry. I'll get this address right now. Like, I am so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Goes against the shop foreman. Apparently what had happened, or what they were saying, when they installed it, the locking nut on it was a little stripped. So when they started driving off, the bolt vibrated out of it. I don't know, but they were able to grab another locking nut, get underneath it real quick, and just put it back on there. But I was like, you guys are lucky that it was hanging low enough for me to see before I fucking took off.
You would have felt like whenever you were driving on the highway, you would have felt it like right away. You would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I'm just glad I was
here.
there. I'm just glad I saw it right fucking there. It's like, oh God.
Oh yeah. Damn. Well, you got your truck back.
I got my truck back.
Yeah. That's nice.
No.
It's always nice to have your truck back. Hell,
got
fucking, I told you could have
blown tranny.
Yeah. I told you could have used my fucking Slam Dodge. That would have been fun for you to drive around Dallas in.
You're too far
for
away.
A fucking couple weeks. You fucking, it's not that.
I don't live in Dallas.
Away. Oh, with that fucking
Put
beanie.
Some goddamn respect
like
on the fact that I don't live in Dallas.
Speaking of trucks, fucking Tink gave me the fucking great ass fucking dad moment the other day in the truck whenever I picked her up from her mom's. So
is that right?
Yeah. So and this is, and I'm not talking about whenever the shit whenever I rendered aid. That was DJ in the truck then. No, I picked Sicilian and DJ up. Fucking teenagers. The first thing they do when you get in the truck is they get on their goddamn phone, put their headphones in, and they put whatever fucking bullshit music they listen to. I don't know. And my kids are weird because they listen to fucking everything, you know, kind of like I do. You know, they listen to everything. So we're sitting in the truck and I'm like, well, fuck, I don't have to worry about fucking them bitching about what's on the radio or anything. So, and I like my shit loud. So I listened to one band and I'm sitting there and I'm jamming out. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to hear some Alice in Chains. So I fucking grabbed the phone, put some Alice in Chains on. You know, obviously the first one that comes up is Nutshell. I'm fucking jamming out to Nutshell. And then next song comes on, Man in a Box. And I've got this motherfucker loud. And it's going on, you know, I'm fucking singing, I'm jamming out. And all of a sudden it hits this point, and here's what I hear. And I'm like, it's fucking loud. So I'm like jamming out, yeah, just and I hear, feed my eyes. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look over and it's Tink. And she's like, Jesus Christ. And she's like, at least you're playing good shit now. And I'm like, you know this? And she's like, it's Alice in Chains. Who does it? I'm like, girl, you listen to so much bullshit music that, like, yeah, I was really shocked. And she's like, yeah, and she's like, you bought me the vinyl. And I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't know you listened to it. Like, how do you go from listening to Tyler, the Creator, to fucking Alice in Chains? You know what I mean? Like,
Tyler, the Creator sucks.
She fucking loves his music. Like, I don't know. Like, and she loves the old Odd Future shit and all that, which I like some of that Odd Future shit better than the straight Tyler shit. But I don't know. It was just, I was like, fuck, man. I was like, okay, look, you're picking up on some of my music. But she does here and there. Like, she loves Deftones and she loves that, you know, that kind of shit. But just the fact that it's older song like that, and she's like, oh yeah, fucking I love Alice in Chains. I'm like, hell yeah. And then fucking Rooster comes on, and then the whole fucking song Rooster, I can barely hear the goddamn stereo. She's singing it so fucking loud. It's like, do you even know this is about Vietnam?
Yeah.
But yeah, it fucking cracked me up. So AT&T, they sent us a letter the other day, and they were like talking about some sort of like they were refunding for shitty service or something about sporadically the like servers out here or the fucking web or something.
I got an email going on, something about, your service might have been whatever, but I haven't noticed anything.
We could see it bad here. Like, everyone around here could see that it was just horrible service the last couple weeks. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like ever since the fucking them servers went down and everyone was having them fucking issues with the Amazon servers and all that, now everything's fucking up.
You want some mouth with that dip?
Bitch, I got mouth. I didn't even put that much in this time. I didn't.
So,
bro, did you? Oh, here you go.
I found. You ever seen the channel The Quartering?
No.
Great guy, does some awesome content. Covers all kinds of stuff. I was watching a video today because I'll put on some videos while I'm driving, just kind of listen to them. So you remember when Texas passed that? I don't remember exactly what the bill was, but banning essentially access to Pornhub in Texas.
You can't watch Pornhub in Texas? I don't watch porn, so I guess not.
No, I'm not saying you do, you don't. I'm saying, like, if you were to go onto your phone right now and type in Pornhub.com, you cannot access it in Texas. The only way you could access it is if you had a VPN routed through a different state that, allows it.
Web contains age-restricted material, blah, 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 blah. You affirm you're at least 18 years of age. Content, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm 18 years old. Bro, I'm on it right now.
Hey, are you running a VPN on your phone?
No.
Let me turn mine off because I always have a VPN on.
Yeah, I don't have one on. And yeah, it just asked me if I'm 18 years or older, and I said yes, and then it let me.
Yeah, see, look. That's what I'm saying. You have to be running some kind of proxy, because right here says, dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age. So you have to go through all this stuff. Like you have to go through this lengthy verification process, but you can't just like log on and use it.
Hold on. Mine might be going through somewhere else. Hold on. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. Let me turn everything off. www.pornhub.com. Okay, keep telling me what you're telling me.
Not only does it, yeah. So anyway.
Okay. I was running a VPN. You're right. I can't. Yeah.
I told you. So I was like, there's no possible way. Okay. So anyways, so obviously now that you know, Texas did that. So, but it's only for specific to Pornhub. Like there's other sites you could access. But what I'm saying is like they did that specific to Pornhub because Pornhub is the largest porn site in the world. But I was watching the episode of Quartering today, and they were saying that in Michigan, they're trying to introduce the most radical fucking legislation, and it's just in Michigan right now. But obviously, it's one of those things of like we were talking about yesterday. Like you encroach small, then they go for the big later, right?
Yeah.
So this one is gonna. If this was to pass in the Michigan House to go Michigan wide, this would be the biggest encroachment, essentially freedom of speech and expression, because of just what it does, right? And it's being led by fucking House Republicans in Michigan, which is a fucking travesty, because this right here is what shows the hypocrisy of how these fucking quote unquote freedom of speech constitutionalist fucking fake Republicans show their true colors by getting more government involved in people's lives.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
And let me tell you, so you remember also what we were talking about yesterday, how like the radical left hides behind these movements with on the face value, their names of their movements, you wouldn't think to disagree with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter, but the movement, the organization, and what they do is evil and terroristic, right? Anti-fascist. The term on itself, obviously, we want to be against fascists, but the movement, the organization, and what they do is terroristic, right?
Oh yeah.
So the name of this act, right? Anti-Corruption of Public Morals Act. That's what they're hiding behind with those words. That sounds great, doesn't it? Anti-Corruption of Public Morals. That sounds pretty damn good with wordsmithing, right? Just when you use those words, of course we don't want corruption. We don't want corruption of public morals. We want people to be moral. We want moral, upstanding people. We don't want them to be corrupt. Just the words on their own. What I'm saying is the words what I'm saying, the words on themselves, right?
They were going after the Bible
English word. Yeah, when you think of pure English meaning words, right? We don't want corrupt people, and we want moral, upstanding people that we can rely on. Seems pretty good on its face. Now,
hold on, before you go into it, just let me say something on the name real quick. The name is so objective because who the fuck are they to decide whose morals are right and wrong? Like, people's morals are on a scale. You know what I mean? Some people have a higher morality than others. You know what I mean? Who the fuck are they to step in and say, we're going to set up this to say, no, we're going to set the standard of morals.
But so again, when we're talking about what we just said specifically for Texas, right? Not having access specifically to Pornhub. So you would think what I'm getting with this, we're talking about porn mainly.
Yeah.
Bro, this is such a huge fucking encroachment and infringement. When I dive into this and show you, you are going to fucking lose it. Dude, you're not going to believe this. Total VPN ban.
The fuck?
Yeah. Now, let's dive further into this. Okay? Blocking of circumvention tools such as VPNs, proxies, encrypting tunneling methods could result in fines of up to $500,000 to the internet service providers if they don't seek them out and make sure they're not being used. Because that's how we get around them, right? That's how you're able to get on like Pornhub in Texas if you use a VPN, right?
And fucking if you want to gamble online in a different state, yeah.
Yeah, and and the whole reason why like people like us in the military, I mean, obviously a little bit before your time, before whenever you were in, but like when I was in, I got into VPNs for a different reason, because when I was overseas, I would use VPNs for Netflix, for American Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And then when I would deploy, so I would have to get on VPN so I could still use my Netflix and Hulu, whatever like that, when I'm in Afghanistan. Because obviously if I'm on the network in Afghanistan, I can't get on fucking Netflix. It would say you're in a country that doesn't have Netflix. No?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it gets worse right here. All forms of adult content. We saw that, including video, audio, magazine, AI generated manga. Just manga, like Japanese manga. Doesn't even say like what type, but just but doesn't even say like specifically, just manga. Okay? Even depictions of transgender people. It could be like in medical journals. Depictions.
It's so fucked up, man.
Dude. Proposal also seeks to prevent adult content to be passed through privacy VPN tools. See? Dangerous attack on internet freedoms. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Like, fines are being proposed for those who access prohibited material. The bill says any commercial entity or ISP that knowingly facilitates access to prohibited materials could face up to $500,000 for each violation. So if they have 10,000 people using VPNs on an ISP, that's $500,000 each for those 10,000 people. Introduced by Republican Representative Joseph Schreiber and 5 other Republican representatives. Can you fucking believe this shit?
These are more, this cements more and more why I'm not a Republican.
Yeah.
Look,
Like not one of those like one of those fucking stupid Democrats are like, I'm blue no matter who. Like I'm not red or dead. You know what I mean? Like this is why you and me are an individual thinker. We lean more conservative in a lot of areas, but then we're also like, we're not fucking stupid to say like, oh, well, if my Republican representative is introducing it, then we have to support him. No, this is fucking ridiculous. Well, I mean, we don't live in Michigan, thank God, but this is fucking ridiculous.
But see, here's the problem with it is once you get case law in the books, then it sets a precedent and a standard for other states and other districts and everything to essentially adopt it. You know, anytime you show any case law out there that sides with a certain standard on some legislation or, you know, whatever the litigation to it is or whatever, like,
precedent.
Yeah. Over a moral precedent, which is, like I said, very objective. Like, fucking ridiculous. Michigan's a blue state, right?
Depends on the year.
I think
Minnesota is was it who? What does Harry Balls go to? Is that Minnesota? Tim Walz?
I don't fucking remember.
No, Michigan depends on the year because sometimes it's red, sometimes it's blue.
Well, I know it depends on the year, but they are statistically more blue than red, correct? They're very purple, but they're typically
because Detroit's blue and like the big and whatnot.
So hopefully the blue side fucking stands up.
But they have a lot of blue collar workers because of like the auto plants and stuff like that. So like I said, that's why it depends on the year, depending on where the union is leaning. So.
Oh yeah. Motherfucker. Speaking of fucked up Republican bullshit, did you see that the donors for MAGA are now that secret donor? What is it? Brookside or Rockdale or Rock something? I don't know, something like that. It's that company that that Vance started years back. It's like that Republican donorship shit. They're saying, so they're getting behind Vance, but they are trying to reshape the MAGA movement right now to whatever they want it to be. Like they're completely trying to make it a complete political shift and restructure and change what MAGA is, which what it is or not, I don't give a fuck. But
Rockbridge Network.
Yeah, Rockbridge. Okay, yeah. But the fact that you've got an organization coming in that's a super secret donor that's trying to restructure a whole political party, and what I think pisses me off most about it, like, and it's so repulsive, is it's the fucking organization that JD Vance established. Like, I don't like the direction that, number one, that MAGA movement's going. I don't like the direction of the Republican Party's going. Like, granted, I don't like the direction that the fucking Democrats have gone neither. But, you know, it was so much easier to side with certain parts of the more moderate right side, because I'm not. I'm so as far right as I am and as far left as I am, being, you know, right in the middle, it's hard, but it kind of is where I fit. But the way that they're doing this, it's like, fuck y'all motherfuckers. More and more reasons why I look at Stephen A. Smith and I'm like, I want to hear more of what this fucking dude's got to say, because he's kind of like getting to that point where he's like, fuck y'all and fuck y'all, from what I've seen and what I've heard. But, and I'm not even a fucking Stephen A. supporter.
He's really great.
Like, I'm not really even a fucking, like, I'm not even a big fan of him. Like, I kind of think he's kind of douchey, but fuck, I think now I'm like, fucking Vance is a super douche. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Curiosity. not agreeing or disagreeing. What makes you say that?
Why are they going to use? So I'm gonna refer to that. What is it called? Rockbridge. Say it again. Rockbridge.
Rockbridge Network.
Okay, Rockbridge Network. So I'm gonna assume they're the same thing as a super PAC. They're a silent super PAC. They've got all this fucking donor money. So you've got an organization coming in there
backed by Silicon Valley investors.
Oh my fucking God. Really?
What do you expect? I mean, because he's backed by fucking Elon. So
look, man, the
it
level
says
of amount
backed
of
by
corruption.
Silicon Valley investors like Peter Thiel.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this: why is a super PAC trying to restructure a fucking movement? It is the people that create that movement. It's the people that structure that movement. A super PAC coming in and restructuring and changing the direction of it isn't a movement anymore. That's not what that is. That's strong arming and that's leading. Like, that's such a divisive tactic.
Says it supports Republican aligned projects to disrupt traditional conservative networks, including media initiatives, litigation efforts, state level infrastructure, and staffing for potential Republican administrations.
Under what their agenda is, under whatever their fucking agenda is. The movement is not about their fucking agenda. The movement is about the fucking people. Look, I'm a libertarian. I follow the libertarian movement on my beliefs and my open-mindedness to fucking
Would you
both
say you're
sides.
like a Dave Smith type libertarian?
No.
Where do you differ from him?
You got to think, how far left am I on some views? I'm so much further left.
That's not to say that he's not left on a lot of views either. I'm just saying, like, I've been watching him a lot more, and you know, not to say that I never cared for Dave Smith. I just never particularly paid attention to him.
So I do like him. So I do like Dave Smith. But no, I wouldn't compare myself, like, in my views to Dave Smith. I'd say I'm probably more left than I am right, you know, until you get into certain aspects of it. But where I look at right, I look at old school right of small government and shit like that. Like, now the right isn't small government. Like, it's as far from fucking small government as you can be. Like, they want to have their fucking fingers and dicks in everyone's pockets. You know what I mean? Like, I'm, you know, fiscal budget, balanced budget, you know, minimal, very minimal foreign interventionist, you know, like, if it's absolutely necessary, we can jump in, but you know what I mean? So I'm not out the box on intervention, but I'm not like, hey, let's do it just because. Like, because how many times do I have to say is America is not Captain Save-A-Ho. You know what I mean? But on the other side, I'm so fucking left of let a motherfucker do what they want and be who they want and get the fuck out of our lives. Like, if you want to smoke crack and you're not fucking with your neighbor.
Yeah, like, as far as like foreign intervention, right? Like, I get it. Like, I'm sick and tired of being involved in everything as well. Like, one thing that I do like in a lot of ways that, like, and again, I think Trump has failed on a few things, but what I have liked that Trump has done a lot with, you know, as far as quote unquote his, you know, foreign intervention goes, is he's solved a lot of things without really getting involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but where you're saying, like, you know, if we have to, then jump in. But my caveat would be like, we ain't jumping in if there's nothing in it for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
you know,
to give an example, to give an example, right? Just because this was the first thing that came to my head when you said that, Russia, Ukraine, right? If we're going to back Ukraine to push Russia out and put it into this, what's in it for us is the minerals, right?
Yeah.
We'll come back your ass up and guarantee protection from Russia, but we're going to get all of these goddamn minerals, right? Like that's what's in it for us, you know, as payment, as repayment for all the fucking money, for all the arms, for us backing you up and providing, you know, guaranteed protection, right? That's what's in it for us. We're not going to be doing this shit for free. We're not coming in here just saying, hey, buddy, what's up? We'll come in and then leave. And then you just go on about your business and we'll just take on the debt and the death. No, go fuck yourself. What's in it for us? What are we going to get if we're going to come in and do something? You know what I mean? Like there has to be something in it for us if we're going to be the world police like everybody fucking wants. We're not doing this shit for shits and giggles and for love of the world. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That's what, if you want us to come do something, you better be ready and willing to give us something in return.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. See, but then again, whenever I look at Russia, Ukraine, I'm like, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but let Russia fucking have it. Fucking Ukraine's so fucking corrupt anyways. Fuck it. Let them fucking have it.
And I'm honestly not too far off from you in that either, to be honest. I'm not too far off of that for you to be honest either, but I'm saying like everybody wants us to be in
false propaganda out there. I think the propaganda fucking machine is too strong. And is Russia that fucking bad? Like, are they that fucking bad? Yes, they have a different way of life than us. Yes, their social structure, their political structure, everything's so much different from us. But that's how they live. Let them be them. And fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, they're not fucking with us. Are they that big of a threat to national security? Are they a bigger threat to national security than China? You know what I mean? Like, my outlook is let them fucking have it. Get the fuck out. Let them deal with the fucking problems in Ukraine and let them turn it around. Okay, cool, whatever. Y'all got it. Now let's spark out a fucking trade partner deal with fucking Russia. And now let's push fucking China to the side. Because if you get two superpowers like Russia and fucking America on the same side and say, hey, we can work together. China's fucked. China's doing all this bullshit. Let's push them down the fucking road. Let's snuff the monster out. You know what I mean? Because honestly, China's the fucking monster under the bed. You know what I mean? I think that the propaganda machine is what the fucking problem is. Russians probably think all this bullshit about America, how we're so fucking bad. You know, the Middle East. Look at all the Middle Eastern countries that so many think that we're so much of a piece of shit. We're this, we're that, the other. Propaganda machine. Like, all these countries have this huge propaganda shit that everyone wants to bash on the other country. No, we need to fucking pull the fucking wool off of our fucking eyes and say, how much are we being fucking manipulated? Like, that is one of the fucking problems I think that we're seeing. And that's why whenever it comes to the interventionist shit, I'm like, unless it's fucking something that's a matter of our national security, let's stay the fuck out of it. Like, okay, populations change, countries change, people change. Like, why do we have to be the fucking motherfucker that goes out there and says, no, you can't take that fucking land. You can't take that land. You can't do that. Like, if someone had done that to us, a superpower back then, like whenever the America was getting established and growing, we wouldn't have fucking Mexico. So we wouldn't have Texas. You know what I mean? Like, why are we any different from fucking them trying to grow their country? I don't know. It's just my fucking opinion.
Seen any of the clips from the 60 Minutes with Trump, the recent one?
No.
So I think he actually put some pretty good things into pretty good context with, I guess, why currently we're not pushing really hard with like tariff trade war with Russia as we are with China in regards to like, for I guess in a like strong arm play, right? Like and why we don't want to be friends with both of them at the same time.
And what is the reason?
So one reason why doing tariff and trade war pressure with Russia and Putin doesn't work is because Russia doesn't really buy anything from the US. So it doesn't really work. You know, obviously Russia or US and China buy a lot from each other. So that's why it works to be doing that kind of pressure, right? Then you don't want Russia and China being best friends because then that's bad for the world, right? But if you have the US and China on really good terms, then you can put China buys oil from Russia, but you can start putting pressure on, if you build good terms with Xi Jinping in China, then you can start using China as leverage against Russia to get what you want over there, especially in regards to stopping the war between Russia and Ukraine. And you don't want to be friends with both Russia and China at the same time in those types of strong terms, because then you lose your leverage over there with if anybody else is acting up, because then whatnot. So I thought that was actually a pretty good context of the whole situation. So
yeah, I agree, but I
in regards to what the current and in regards to the current world we're living in right now.
Yeah, but fuck, if Ukraine or if Russia wants Ukraine that bad, let them fucking have it.
Yeah, but obviously the world we're living in, we can't just with optics and everything, and it's just we unfortunately.
Why do we want to worry about everyone else's what they think about us? Like, so much propaganda is getting put out there, anyways. Like, everyone thinks we're a piece of shit. So either we get involved in everything to try to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and we're bad guys for fucking imperialism and fucking. But we should mind our own business. Yeah.
Here's the issue, though. Now, before we start arguing, well, he hasn't this, but this the issue though. Trump has tried to, with everything all the promises and everything he said he was going to on his campaign trail, saying like, hey, I'm going to do this. And he had said that every time he made a promise or said he was going to do something or, whatever, people, his team or whatever put it on a list, and obviously bringing it into the Ukraine-Russia war was one of them. So, he obviously has to do that to, quote unquote, check that off his list because he said he was going to do it. Now, obviously he said he'll have it done before he comes in office, and obviously that didn't work. But again, he has to do that because he said he was going to.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's that fucking bullshit of we get involved in shit because people are like, why isn't America getting involved? Okay. And some people are like, oh, yeah, y'all are involved, blah, 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 blah. And then it costs our taxpayers and it costs us and it whatever. And then on the other side, motherfuckers are just opposite of that is well, why is America always got to get involved in everything? They're big fucking bullies. Like, they're this, they're that, blah, 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 blah. Like, you can't fucking win. You can't win for losing, honestly. Like,
well, just fucking. Also, to be also fair on, for to defend Trump in this, I mean, he's trying to clean up the previous administration's mess because it wasn't him that did all this. So he kind of has to clean it up. So.
Yeah, no, look, I know. And I understand that the last administration was fucked, and whether you're left, right, indifferent, whatever, everyone can agree that the last administration was fucked, but
except for Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, she probably ain't been fucked in a long time.
You want to see something awesome? And I don't care who thinks what. I'm proud of this because this is from the Mecca, not from a website, not from a gift shop. This is from the Mecca itself. This is from Mar-a-Lago, bitch. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever owned a Make America Great Again hat.
This is from the Mecca itself. This is from Mar-a-Lago.
When do you order that?
I didn't. My buddy, when he was detached there for EOD, he got it for me.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
It took him a year to finally
I
mail
don't
it.
Look, honestly, this administration we're in right now is fucked up.
It is.
You know, honestly, I can't remember the last fucking decent fucking administration. Clinton? Half-ass?
I mean, he was getting ass.
Yeah, but he balanced the budgets. He, had us in a surplus. Look, I don't know, man. Like, Bush administration was pretty fucked. I didn't mind serving under Bush, but Bush administration was kind of fucked.
So here's the thing, though. Like, this is the issue that I'll take with this current administration, but to also give good kudos to this administration. Like, we're only what month? We're only 11 months in, right? Almost. Well, we're just entered the 11th month, right? So obviously we have quite a bit of things that have come to the forefront that we do not agree with and we're very upset about, that have cast some pretty heavy shadows of fuck. We expected more. We voted for more. We obviously did not get what we hoped for in certain aspects. I mean, there's clear evidence, clear signs of that. But what I don't want to ever overlook or take away from is that we still have very, very massive successes and things pending. Yes, that you dipshit. Successes that are in work, that are pending, because things have to take time to enact or whatever. Immigration enforcement has been great.
That's a win. Yeah, I'll give that.
That is 100% win. And what a lot of people try to bring down, right? Because people are like, "Oh, he was saying that we're going to deport." I can't remember, but when you look at the numbers, there's only been like 800,000 like enforcement expedited removals, right? Like actual federal agents doing their expedited removals, right? Which is quite a bit. But what they conveniently leave out, again, because they use this as their talking point, they use this as he's not doing what he says, he's failing on this, it's not as bad as you think, right? There's been like 2 million self deportations.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and it was a genius move on the administration's part to offer the $1,000 like, hey, we'll pay you $1,000 to self deport, because it's honestly saved the administration a lot of money than having the agents and the fed and like go that route, because it costs so much more. It saved billions doing it that way. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And
I do agree with that.
Yeah. So,
but here's my concern with that though. How many of them that self-deported took that $1,000, turned around and came right back in though?
There's been no, I'm not going to say that none may have slipped by that they haven't, but there's been none, there's been no, reported gotaways or there's been no catch and release because they stopped that, but there's been no, reported gotaways, and they have quite a bit of that, border that doesn't have like the actual wall, built yet. Because they have a lot of resources now deployed with the National Guard, with drones and Marines set up, or extra people set up like on those parts of the border that don't have the wall set up with, and they have like so many resources now with NGVs and night and the drones and with the night IR and everything like that set up to where they can monitor all that shit. So there has been an insane decrease of anybody getting across in that aspect. No. So I'm not going to say there hasn't been any, but it would be damn near a net zero. I'm confident to say that.
Yeah, I agree that there's been a huge reduction, but you know what I mean? Just like we're not getting fucking proper reporting on Charlie Kirk, how much fucking proper reporting are we getting on fucking, the border crisis? So I don't know, propaganda, back to propaganda. There's too much propaganda. And I think that our government swings shit the way that they want us to hear it, or a narrative that they want us to know. You know what I mean? It's no different from being a parent. You portray a narrative to your kids because you want them to act a certain way or do a certain thing. Like, I don't know, man. I'm tired of all the fucking propaganda. But hold on. Wonder if we should do a would you rather real quick. Break this one up a little bit. Because I'm about to ask you something about what I was asking about, what you think about that fucking Republican fucking super PAC.
Rockridge or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, Rock or whatever.
Rock hard.
Yeah. I'm about to ask you why you think it's good.
Well, real quick. You happy about the Department of Education going?
Absolutely, bro. It needed to fucking happen. Our shit's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. But okay, here, let's break this up. Here, let's do a would you rather real quick. We haven't done one yet today. We're in November. Fucking, we can do a fucking Thanksgiving one. Would you rather get fucked in the ass by a pilgrim or an Indian? I don't know. It's a quick one. I just had to think of one. Pilgrim's probably cleaner, but more likely to have an STD, I think.
Yeah, because we brought all the diseases over, right? Oh, fuck.
Ooh, and I just thought of a good one to close the show out with.
I go with the pilgrim, probably circumcised.
Would they be?
I don't know. Do you think Indians knew about that shit?
No, them motherfuckers weren't. What do you think's got a bigger dick, a white guy or an Indian?
You know what's funny? As I was watching Joe, and this is gonna make sense. Joe Rogan. I was watching this Joe Rogan show with this one guy. He went to this fucking like remote forest. I think it was I can't remember if it was somewhere in South America or somewhere in Africa, one of the two. But he was looking for this legendary beast, and it was almost, and I think it was like reported to be like a dinosaur, and it was saying like if you were in this like jungle, there was this dinosaur that was in this hidden like jungle rainforest area, and it was like but it was in this specific area, right? I don't know. I don't remember, but he took this journey, and it was a very dangerous journey or whatever like that. And he was saying that when he made it to this village, he never found the creature, but he made it to this village of people, and he was saying like, yeah, these people, they were really nice, and and everything like that, and these guys, dude, like these native people, man, like they just wore these cloths or everything, and they had the biggest dicks I'd ever seen in my life. And I asked them, and I was just like, dude, like what? And apparently they spoke English, but I was like, how, like, dude, he was like, dude, why, how are your guys' dicks so big? He was saying like, don't wear underwear, man. And we're like, what do you mean? He was like, gravity just pulls it down. Like,
makes sense, physics.
I know, but I just thought it was so funny. So I was like, I don't know, probably.
Oh my god.
He was like, they just had the biggest dicks I'd ever seen in my life. Like,
fuck. What do you really think about that fucking super PAC that's trying to reshape the MAGA movement, though? Like, what is, like, going back to that? What? Could you ask me how I feel about it or why I'm against it? But what do you think? Like, because my outlook is the MAGA movement. MAGA was made by the people and it's for the people.
Super PACs. I told you how I feel about super PACs a couple episodes back. Like, I don't think there should be super PACs, period. But I guess if we're gonna have super PACs, and I guess specifically regarding this one, if they're trying to reshape, I guess
the whole MAGA
essentially.
Essentially what I was reading is they want to change the whole political landscape of the MAGA movement. And where my problem with that is the MAGA movement was made by the fucking people, not by the politicians. So you're having an organization take what was made by the people for the people into something that's corporatized, that's made by the corporation for the fucking people. And I know you like Vance, but I don't like that.
I'm not necessarily like or dislike Vance. I have a little bit different view on what you mean by the MAGA movement shaped by the people. Now, granted, it has become a group of people, obviously stemming from Trump, because Trump was who began the MAGA movement, because he formed Make America Great Again, everything, right? And the reason why we have the MAGA movement and the MAGA generation and people who love everything MAGA is because first time he said Make America Great Again and coined the term MAGA, and we started saying MAGA and had the MAGA movement and everything, was when we started learning what Trump was about politically. And then we started to believe in those principles as a new movement of conservatives, right? So as far as what we call ourselves as MAGA people, as MAGA members in the MAGA movement, I wouldn't say it was formed by a group like the people into the as a generation movement. I would say it metastasized from the ideas of how Trump came into the political scene right now.
Yeah.
I would also say that over its period of time, people have not necessarily infiltrated, but have came into the MAGA movement and started to, in certain ways, corrupt and manipulate the movement and try to form it in their own path and their own ideals, right? And so given certain aspects in certain ways, depending on what you would say and what you would think that the MAGA movement has become versus what it was and what it originally started to be, I guess you would have to take it into the form of do you think we still hold our core principles of what we began and what is first envisioned, and do we still hold true, or do you think that we have strayed too far away from it and we do need a reawakening, and that's what Vance is trying to do?
Okay, what was the core principles of the MAGA movement?
I would say in my opinion, now I'm not saying that this happened, but just going back to what I remember from 2016, right? Because obviously in 2016, well, 2015, when he hit the scene, when he started saying, this is what we're going to do and everything like that. And that's what, started the MAGA movement. Obviously, even though he did pretty well in his first presidency, but what he said he was going to do didn't quite happen, because even he didn't think he was going to get elected, and he had no idea what he was really doing. And
he wasn't in a lame duck set. Yeah, and he wasn't in a lame duck session. Usually more shit gets done on a lame duck. So,
but what I would say is can I help you? Hi. Drain the swamp, right? Get rid of the corrupt politicians, of the bureaucrats, the deep state, and everything like that, right? So we don't want those deep state bureaucrats that are the ones that are actually making all the decisions, instead of the elected politicians by the people, working for the people, right? Yeah. So obviously that didn't happen the first time. I feel like we're trying to accomplish it this time, but we're still not, but we're only 11 months in, right? But we still have some time. So I'm hoping that we make some progress, but it's not looking too bright. But again, we're only 11 months in. So, then America First, right? Again, we're not quite looking like we're doing that well, but we're only 11 months in. I'm not going to quite lose hope just yet, but we're not looking to America First right now. I don't want to ever say America only, because there is a reason for allies in this world, but America First, it should always be, just like everybody else in this world is going to put themselves first, because that's what you do as a country and as a leader. So America First. Okay. Yeah. Then you have, the putting the Constitution as your driving factor, right? Freedom of speech. He did talk about, hey, we shouldn't, because he was getting censored and kicked off platforms. So yeah. It's like he was wanting to be about the Constitution. He was wanting to get rid of deep state bureaucrats. He was wanting to be America First, and he was wanting to bring about America. Like he didn't say this, but I know he was like talking about, he's wanting to bring back America's golden age. Even though he's talking about that specifically now, he was wanting to bring about like America being like dominant again, like how we used to be. And then Biden struck all that shit down again. Now he's trying to redo it again. Right. So that's what those right there was kind of like what it was. Now, I would say that's what the MAGA movement was spawned as, was envisioned and kind of came through. We stuck through that for the most part during the first 4 years. Then Biden came in, and then Trump kind of went away because, he was going through all of his indictments and whatnot like that. And we didn't know if he was going to come back and run again. Yeah. But the MAGA movement was still there, because obviously he had changed the political scene for conservatives. Old Republican guard was gone. It was never coming back. We had new Republican conservatives that we were going to go for. But I think in that time, the MAGA movement started to warp and change. And I think that it started to become what we think now as more America, it changed from America first to America plus these people, plus a few others, plus, hey, let's include these ones, right? And then it started to turn into, um, we don't like deep state bureaucrats, but we like some people because not all of them are bad. We agree with some. Like, we also we want to bring some manufacturing jobs back to America, but we also need to make sure that we don't cut out the rest of the world because we have to have partnerships and like it starts to say, hey, we know what we said, but sometimes we have to do this. And that's why, and I'm not saying that that's what Vance is thinking, but I'm saying if we were to talk about reshaping the MAGA movement, do you think in certain ways that if in this time frame that Trump was gone because we weren't able to maintain the momentum, with 2 consecutive terms, given that the major conservative voices of the time, right, that the MAGA movement may have lost its way?
Yeah, yeah, I do think it could have, very possibly. Honestly, with Trump, I wish him coming from the Democrat side, I wish he would have been more libertarian on a Republican platform. You know what I mean? Like, especially, it's so hard for a an independent to get in, really to get elected in any aspect of politics, yeah. Just because you've got everyone saying, well, I'm part of this blue tribe and I'm part of this red tribe. Like, not a whole lot of people out there are like, I just want to think for myself and this is right and that's wrong. Where, libertarians typically lean towards the leave me the fuck alone. Like, I really look at the libertarian movement as the best of both worlds. You get some of both. And look, it's fucked up too. You know what I mean? Like, so many of these fucking libertarians or independents that have been out there that have ran for any sort of office, essentially they've been Democrats that couldn't get on the Democrat ticket. But Trump was one of those ones that I thought, okay, he's coming from blue to red. Okay, he might be something to lean towards. Just like Tulsi. Tulsi's another one of those where, she may be a Republican now.
So hot.
I think she's more of a libertarian or independent. But then again, she hasn't been fully outspoken on, her policies and her beliefs and whatever she wants. Like, some of the stuff from when she was a Democrat. You know where she's leaning a little bit now. But really, you don't know where she honestly stands. And a lot of these guys, you don't know where they stand. And how many of these fucking people are saying shit just to say it because it's what people want to hear? Like, look, it's like censorship. It's like too many people are out there are saying what people want them to say, not what they really truly feel. Like, look, that's the thing about the trans movement is, look, I don't like everything about it. And I don't like them pushing their beliefs and agendas on to other people. Like, I'm all
kids.
about like, yeah, I'm all about like, if you want to wear a fucking dress, wear a dress. Like, if you want to tuck your balls back. I don't care. Like, be you. Like, come on. Like, good for you that's who you believe you are and you feel comfortable in that. And like, regardless of the situation, like, if that's your truth and you really want to come out of your shell and speak it, like, okay, good for fucking you, but why can't other people do the same without being ostracized or demonized? You know what I mean? And that's the problem, is there's too much of this cancel culture bullshit out there where these falsely assumed oppressed, I guess is a good way to put it, are playing this victimized card, and so many people are like, oh, you're the victim, so now I really have to listen to you. Oh, well, he's a bad guy, he said this. Well, no, he's not. He expressed his opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and they all fucking stink. Like, why does one person coming out of their shell saying I feel this way matter more than the next? I just don't understand that. Now, I think that's why I lean so far independent and libertarian. Like, it's a shitty fucking situation. Both sides are fucked up when you look at red and blue, and the only common sense, like, if there was a true common sense party, it would be fucking so many fucking independent thinkers and intellectuals that just fucking say, look, this is what we were fucking built on. This is what America was built on. Like, our founding fathers wanted freedom. Like, if crack cocaine was a fucking thing in fucking that day and age, they could have smoked crack cocaine and it would have been okay. Like, if they wanted to own a cannon or an AR, it doesn't matter fucking what it was. They could have fucking had it because they had their fucking rights. They were free. Like, everyone says that America's the land of the free. I don't feel fucking free. Like, I really don't. Like, when you have to be registered to fucking have a driver's license, you know, essentially a driver's license is a registration. You've got to have a driver's license and drive. You got to register your fucking vehicles. You got to get a hunting license. You got to fucking, like, all this shit you have to fucking register. And little by little, you know, fucking shit, I can't speak to late. Legislation by legislation, it's like they take a little bit from you. So if they really changed their policies how they wanted, and they changed the landscape of the country how they wanted, we'd revolt in a heartbeat. So they figured out, you know, from past, you know, forward thinkers of past times that said, here's how you achieve your goals, and say, take a little bit. It'll sweep under the rug. They won't notice it. Like, that's what we're in right now, and that's what we've fucking been in. And I think that the MAGA movement's no different from bringing a corporate entity in and saying, we're going to change this fucking landscape. Like, it drives me fucking nuts. Like, I wish the MAGA movement was more an independent movement rather than a conservative or Republican movement. No different from the fucking Tea Party movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's stupid that we have to get hunting and fishing licenses and stuff like that. So
yeah. Property taxes, like, you pay your fucking house off and you still pay fucking property taxes for the rest of your life. Like, what the fuck? Like, at least, I mean, you know, being a veteran in Texas. I know, I was about to say, you know, at least being a veteran in Texas, we don't have to pay it because, you know.
Florida's making the right move right now, trying to get property taxes eliminated. I think Texas is starting to try to make the right move now for everybody. So, but
yeah. No, it's just, it's so fucked up. You know, you get frustrated and you get tired of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, two things are guaranteed in life: death and taxes.
Yeah, and getting fucked by the government in the worst sense. Yeah, here, I want to read you this real quick, and I want to get your opinions. So, I'm not going to say who sent it to me because I asked him if I can disclose where this information came from. And he did not tell me yet if I can say who the information came from. Now, I do know that he has agency contacts. I do know a lot of the stuff that they have been saying, and I don't agree with everything, and some of it I couldn't find supporting evidence. But so we were talking about, you know, our theories on Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
So we were talking about the gallium and such, and
before you said, did you see Candace Owens' podcast today?
I did not. I've been so fucking busy today.
So I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip on X where she said that she said, I guess she had been hearing rumors, but she didn't want to say anything until she was able to no bullshit 100% confirm it. And she did finally confirm it with like no ifs, ands, like whatever about it, that there was 12, not like VPN routed, but like 12 Israeli cell phones in the area on UVU campus on the September 10th.
Well, this individual that we're back and forth between, I looked at some of his stuff, and there is some things that I did see that I was like, that is very interesting. And there's a couple other people I want to talk to about it that I haven't had a chance to, but okay, so I sent him the videos, and we talked a little bit about the gallium theory and the alternate alloy theory. So he says, a very interesting theory. I cannot rule that out. It could be plausible. He said there were multiple shots that day, actually, but if the autopsy is not completely fake, which at this point I'm having a hard time believing it's not, then something has to account for a fragment of a projectile still being inside of Charlie. I believe the main kill shot was from the right of Charlie and went through to the left, but there was a second round fired from Charlie's left side, possibly a palm gun, which was intentionally done to cause confusion. The round from the left of Charlie could have been a gallium bullet. Okay. So remember, originally I said that I thought he was shot from the rear, and then starting to look into other things, all of that. So then I said, so I have a question. Why do you feel there were multiple shots? I'm not opposed to saying there were not, but with my background, I did not come to that conclusion the least bit. But do I feel that if the 30-06 was fired, it could have been with a blank? And I can't say for certain by the sound of hearing a heavy load blank and a live round fired over video, because they are indistinguishable. Also, do you feel he was struck by multiple rounds? I said, did the alleged rifle fire? I said, possibly, but not at Charlie. Was a different firearm used for the assassination? Also, almost certainly. Was it one of the old alternate alloys that I discussed? Very possible. I think one of the biggest problems here are the facts that we're not getting true and accurate intel on the event. Now, the question is, who were they covering for? And I think we can assume who. I am truly trying to get other people's opinion. Yeah, so I talked a little bit about was shot from the rear, right side. I'm not going to go into all that. That it gets long. So then he goes, there were at least 3 shots. Sound analysts confirm multiple shots near simultaneously, just microseconds apart. Now, here's my thought on that. So if one shot was made with the 30-06 and it was a blank, depending on what tracking and software they could have used, it could have been based off of a sound.
Reverb.
Yeah, the reverb. So the 30-06, the reason a 30-06 on a heavy load would have been used would have been so overwhelming over the additional round or rounds that were fired.
The spring loaded whatever that fired the gallium bullet, the blank would have covered that sound easily.
100%. So that's if it was with a pneumatic or spring, spring firing.
The reverb would have covered that sound so easily. Yeah.
Yes. So there's that. And then depending on the setup of whatever technology they were using on the sound of the crack, it could have automatically fired at the point of percussion. Okay. So, he said the main shooter fired from Charlie's right to the left, with some sort of sniper rifle or sniper drone, most likely by the gray van. There is evidence of an entry wound on the right side of his neck we found, as well as also proving that, as well as I captured 3 separate frames of the bullet midair from that direction and got the trajectory. So my problem with that is, okay, the frames per second picking up a round through the air. Is it possible? Yes.
It's extremely hard, though.
Yeah. Is it possible?
You would have to have,
Yes.
I mean, it's possible, but you would have to have it in order to pick up something in a frame. Like, so yes, it is possible, but you would have to have an insanely high quality action camera in order to pick it up in a frame.
Yeah.
But
and here's
you're talking with a phone doing that, and that's why it's highly unlikely.
Yeah. And here's the thing, at the velocity of a round, you remember on the ghost hunter shows, whenever they see these, fragmentation,
dust,
orbs or whatever, and then they see bug flying through the air or whatever, and it's got a tracer. So that's my thing.
I'm not doubting this guy. I'm saying he might have gotten lucky, with the camera on the phone or whatever. I'm just saying this is highly unlikely given it was a phone camera.
Yes. And see, that's where I'm like, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it plausible? Yes. But
you'd have to have a camera that does like 10,000 frames per second.
So, and I looked at some of the stuff, and the thing is you don't see any tracers from, it's not a line. It looks like a little rectangle in the air. And my problem with that is it's too hard. It's too hard to get it that perfect. Okay. So, there was a second shot in the front, which hit him center mass in his chest. We showed the exact time and place it hit, as well as you were able to see the hole in his shirt from the bullet, most likely a palm gun guy. Lastly, there was a third shot from directly behind Charlie from inside the tent, and the top of the tent gap where the side of the logo meets the roof. Well, here's my problem with that. That canopy was one piece. There was no gap from around the bottom of the canopy. So, and they would have had that backdrop overlaid. So they wouldn't have stopped that back canopy and had a gap. It would have looked fucking chintzy. It would have looked like shit. They would have gone all the way to the top, and you wouldn't be able to see the back side of that canopy hanging down on that, 8-inch lip or whatever it is. So that's my problem with that. So someone wouldn't be able to shoot through that, or through a gap in that.
But he's saying he's broken all this down, right?
Yeah. So I didn't see all of it. There was only so much fucking I had time to fucking look into. Like, I was looking at the frame by frame. I was looking at the infrared shit. So I was looking at a lot of it. I was looking at some of the different stuff. Some of it could be I don't know. Look, I'm glad they're looking into it, and I'm glad that they're looking into every bit of evidence they can, because that's the only way that we're all going to come together and figure out what the truth is. Because obviously, fuckhead Patel isn't going to tell us. But I don't know. Lastly, there's a third shot from directly behind Charlie from it. Inside the tent, from the top of the tent gap where the side of the logo meets the roof. So he's saying that it's like there was a round shot from inside the tent that was like mounted up there. Here, I also captured 3 projectiles in a row showing a trajectory. I also captured a shell casing flying up inside the tent and hitting the top of it. This one, I do not believe actually hit Charlie, though. I believe this one was a miss. Israel is known to create multiple diversions and use patsies, etc., to hide what really happened. So, but look, we saw him hit. It didn't look like he was hit from fucking 3 to 4 fucking angles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would have been the first to say he was hit by multiple fucking sides. My first thought was, if anything, he was hit from the rear, his back right side. But just think, you put 3 to 4 rounds in soft matter that's this fucking big. Like, I got a big neck. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even get my fingers all the way around my neck. So, Charlie, let's say his neck's as big as mine is, and you put 2 to 3 rounds in something like this, you're essentially going to decapitate. And another thing is, you're going to have blood spraying from every direction. Yeah. We all saw how much blood came out from the front. Like, that's why I lean towards the gallium theory on he got shot from the low front somewhere on some sort of kinetic round, or, fucking Israel does have they've got the AR drone, they've got the sniper drone. So hypothetically, yeah, it could be something like that. And that could be pneumatic. Which possibly, but I don't know. Like, the camera artifacts, to me, it doesn't look like different trajectories, and it doesn't look like different rounds floating through the air, especially at the frames per second of a phone, which I want to talk to him more and be, back and forth with him a little bit more and figure out, just because I do know he's got a good agency contact that I don't know if it was hold on, let me think of how I'm going to say this properly. Do you know the difference between a operator and an agent in the agency?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if his agency contact was an agent or not. So that's what I don't know. So was it someone that was not part of CIA, and he was either, like I said, an agent? He was recruited by an op, and he was used for whatever. I don't know. I don't know his background. Or was he a contractor? Or was he, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what level he was in the agency, but when his agency contact was talking about some things, I said, okay, that's legit. Like, that's very legit. Like, his agency contact was talking a lot about the Mossad drones, the sniper drones, and that, they're using those drones in Gaza, also in Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like, they're using a lot of them in Ukraine right now. So I don't know. Like, I would like to find more about their background and figure out why they're saying some of this and where they're coming to some of these theories and all that. And hopefully it's not just knee-jerk reactions. But, here's my plus side for this. The fact that a lot of us that are coming together as anarchists and looking for fucking answers, that's what we fucking need, man. Like, the more people we can get out there to looking into this shit and just say, it smells fishy, where's the fish? Like, something's not right. Either, close your legs or find the trout. One of the two. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think we're never going to know the truth.
Yeah, I fear that. I fear in 50 years, whenever fucking, certain data points are not classified anymore. Maybe we'll find a little bit of redacted shit, but yeah. And then the fact that fucking they're also involving, Erica and letting her know that what's going on the case and all that. I don't think that she should be involved in the case like that. I think that, them reporting to her and saying this is what's going on, I think that's super fucked up. Like, she wasn't even there whenever it occurred. She was at the hospital or some shit with her parents, or she was somewhere with her parents. Like, and they're completely discussing the case with her. Really fucked up. Like, how many other cases do you know that they do that in? So I don't know, but
just giving her updates of the progress.
They're giving her apparently they're giving her a lot of intel on the case.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily unheard of, giving updates of on the case. I don't know about going into extreme detail, but like it's pretty common for whatever detective or agent working the case to give updates on the case.
They're talking about evidence and shit. Like they're talking about a lot of shit that.
Where'd you read that?
I've read it in a couple articles of different people talking about it. And then she actually did an interview where she was talking about the
Jesse Waters interview. That's the only, and that one, I don't know if it's released yet, because I know that's the only interview she's really sat down and done.
Okay, so it might have been that one, but it was talking about clips, or I saw some clips of it where she was talking about, the information that she's getting about that, evidence that they're getting and that they have on this and such, blah, 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 blah. And to me, it's like they're putting her out in the public where they can actually control the narrative of what the public is seeing. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Fuck. We gone a long time. We can wrap it up. Would you rather hook up with Pocahontas or Cynthia Ann Parker? What was the other name she went by? Quanah Parker. So, but the Pocahontas as her only, like the image of her as her only living portrait. So the one that was done in, I think, 1616 or whatever, that was commissioned by England, because I think that's the most factually accurate version. Do you remember what she looks like in that, right, from school?
I don't know either of what you're talking about.
Do you know who Pocahontas is?
I know who Pocahontas is, but I don't know what you're describing in either thing.
Okay. Well, you can't go off the Disney version. And do you know who Quanah Parker is?
Nope.
Quanah Parker was the chick that was abducted or kidnapped by the Comanches, and then whenever the U.S. Marshals took her back, she was like essentially a savage, and she wanted to go back and be with them. How do you not know who either one of these are?
Because I'm not a Native American?
Me neither, but I know this. And Quanah Parker was a white chick.
Really? Because she looks pretty fucking Indian to me.
She was a white chick.
Not what I'm looking at. Okay.
Cynthia Ann Parker.
Cynthia Ann Parker.
Yeah, she was a white chick. She went she changed her name to Quanah Parker.
Okay, so this is different than what I'm looking at now. Okay. And what was the other one? Pocahontas.
And I think that the image was commissioned by England in 1616. And that's the most I think that's the most accurate representation of Pocahontas. She should be wearing, I think, a top hat.
Yeah, Pocahontas.
Really? Damn, I thought Pocahontas was more busted.
Not from what I saw for this other chick. Yeah, no. Yeah.
You fucked this one up because you didn't know who they were. Fine, then. Would you rather stick your dick in a can of cranberry sauce, the jelly kind, or Pumpkin pie filling.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Damn, now I'm wondering what it would feel like. All right. Well, let's wrap this one up.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go check us out on Rumble because we're already getting shadow banned on fucking YouTube. So.
And fucking TikTok and fucking Instagram and fucking Facebook and fucking every fucking thing.
Go check us out on X and Rumble. So
yeah, and X. Hopefully now we'll be able to start putting the full podcast on X, and with the lack of censorship over there, maybe that'll start fucking.
We already got all the episodes and clips on Rumble. I'm still working on getting like all the shorts on Rumble and everything, but go watch us over there on Rumble, like, follow, and everything. We're getting stuff. We're really working on now trying to be more active on X, but go follow us, like, comment, everything, repost on X, whatnot. But still do everything on all the other socials too. But yeah, just we're already getting shadow banned and everything. Like, they won't let us promote or anything on YouTube. We just get blanket disapprovals. So.
Yeah. So I guess we just say things that they don't like. We're vulgar.
We just talk. That's just it. So
yeah. We talk vulgarly or something. I don't fucking know. But all right. Hey, we'll see y'all next week. Check out the episodes. Like them, share them. Fucking start looking at this Charlie Kirk shit. Let's figure out some fucking answers.
All right, guys. Never forget, Texas forever.